gas gauge, you still had another gallon, that was another 30 miles. It was like eye-dropping. And there's lots of them in these things here. Volkswagens, they were everywhere. Toyota was unheard of. Datsun, well, Nissan didn't come about till '84, but Datsun. People didn't buy foreign cars. People bought. In 1969, there was this girl, when I fall term, I still remember, her name was Donna, I was friends with her. She had a 69 Camaro hardtop, 396, 3 1/4, houndstooth interior, hugger orange car, and it was parked right outside the Drexel Activity Center. She was 17 years old. And there was a guy with a 62 fuel-injected Corvette, a white one, always parked in the parking lot. He was in night school. So, and then I used to park my car, my 62, on Walnut Street at 34th Street in Philadelphia, right on the U of Penn campus, because that's where our apartment was. I'd find notes on the windshield. If interested in selling, please call. And they give me their number. That was, and then I knew that was the beginning. That people, it's just like what Arthur Jacobs said. He said the car will be worth more money. It will not be worth any less. And what I found out is I was able to drive the car, made a lot of new friends, met a lot of people, had a lot of fun, and I didn't lose money. I wound up selling the car for $2,200. He blew the motor, that guy. He sold it back to me for $15. I did another motor, then I sold it for $3,500. So I mean, there's people that do that. A car comes back, it's a boomerang. Every time you sell it, you make more money. And then you're still driving it, you're having fun. It was my transportation. I mean, a lot of girls thought it was cool. There were two chicks that I worked with back then at the Atomic Energy Commission. There was another co-op job in Manhattan, and I'd drive the car in to work and take them home. They lived in Sheepshead Bay. One of them I had super duper crush on, like terrible, but today they're 65 years old. So, but at any rate, so I just parked the thing on Barrett Street and Hudson in a parking lot there. Cost me $3 or something for the day, and then we'd have the top down, and I'd put the two girls in the car. One sits in the seat, the other sits in between us, and I drive them home. And then down the Belt Parkway, and I drop them off and all of that, and we shoot the breeze. It was like really cool. And I drive home to Merrick. It was just, I drove the car. And when I was selling that car in 1972, I had it in the New York Times. That was before I did the engine. I had 95,000 on it. And I had so many people coming down and looking at the car, but nobody bought it. Because they told me, they said, you don't drive your car enough. You should really be enjoying this car. You know, they said 95,000 miles on a 62 is nothing. It wasn't even 10,000 miles a year. So I just kept the car until, and then eventually, you know, you think back, maybe I should just kept the car and just keep driving it. You could. There were people that I met that had 250,000 miles on these cars. But I had kingpins done. I was in Lycoa. I joined Lycoa in '72, and then I met Richie shortly after that. And it's a long time ago, you know. And then, then there was that girl Sharon. She lived near me. This girl, every year she had a new Corvette, and she would always brag which ones got stolen. The car was so good that she owned, somebody wanted to steal it on her. I mean, she thought I was cute with my 62, and she had a 73 big block convertible. It was like that orange color. And it was just, she went to Bay Chevrolet with her family every year. Oh, new Corvette, let's get rid of this old, beat up 1-year-old car. We'll buy another car, and nothing mattered. And she, I mean, she was a nice looking girl, but let's just leave it at that. But she was a real handful, let's put it that way. But some of these people were really like, there were different schools of thought. There were people that just bought a new one all the time, and it didn't matter. It was a car like Kenny Bycash. Kenny Bycash had his insurance office across from the Burger King in Bethpage. Every year a new Corvette, stylish clothes. He was always, you know, Mr. Dapper. And then he was impressed because I was able to maintain a 10, 15-year-old Corvette in nice shape. And then I bought a 56. That was another story, but we're getting off of 1969. But this was really quite an experience because you were really able to meet a lot of people, you were able to see a lot of cars, and it was a real fishing expedition because, as they always say, if you teach somebody, if you give somebody a fish, you feed them for a day. If you teach them how to fish, they'll never go hungry. And that was too bad. Bylines is out of business, went out of business probably in the 90s. They used to be at the auto show, and it became ads for all dealers. But back in these years, it was private people selling their old used car. They weren't afraid of being robbed or mugged by somebody, and it was a different time. Any questions? And
What happened to Sharon?
I don't know. I think she called into CBS FM one Sunday night when I was coming over the GWB probably 20-something years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was her. But she's got to be, she was older than me. She's got to be 70 now or something. So. But it was unusual to have a woman in a Corvette club. Although today that's a lot more common. Not real common, but more common to have a girl. And I gave her a ride home. She needed a ride, so I gave her a ride home on my '59, and the defroster didn't work. It's a 10-year-old car, so I'm going like this, clearing the mist off and working the wipers and all. And she thought that was so cute. That's the Calvin, yeah. So it's like she fell in love with me after that. She thought I was so cute. But
That's funny.
that was another story. Well, I thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.